Hey y'all, so we're here. We're about to unpack the first chapter. So, like, I'm right here in the table of contents, right? And so I read like the foreword and stuff like that. I would read that with you guys, but the process alone is already 12 weeks. So, yeah, I'm saying. So, I think I actually want to start with, because I read the foreword, I read the introduction. I think I might want to start with, for you guys, spiritual electricity. The basic principles. Okay, so we're going to start there. We haven't gotten into chapter 1 yet, but we're going to start at the spiritual electricity so that you guys can vibe with me and get into it. Like, I really am so excited to unpack this book with you all. I started it. I had to start over. Life has given me some different things, and now I'm just ready to share with you all in a different way. Okay, so let's get it, let's go. Okay, it says, for most of us, the idea that the creator and characters hold on, y'all. Let me start again. For most of us, the idea that the creator encourages creativity is a radical thought. We tend to think, or at least fear, that creative dreams are egotistical, something that God wouldn't approve for us. After all, our creative artist is an inner youngster and prone to childish thinking. If our mom or dad expressed doubt or disapproval for our creative dreams, we may project that same attitude onto a parental God. This thinking must be undone. Okay, so I want to stop there because how many of us have, you know, taken on the thoughts of our childhood from people, or even our teenage years, or even our college years, and maybe even in our adult years, of what you're doing is, no, you need to become a this and you need to become a that. Just pretty much dismantling the idea that you are creative. I believe that some of us, if we would have started earlier, then we would have seen the fruits by now of our creative labor. But sometimes things get in the way. But in this book, I'm so excited because what we're going to do is unpack that, and we're going to get to the root of those negative antics or thoughts or words that somebody has placed in our minds to say that we can't do a thing or why we shouldn't do it, because creativity exudes us, and this is more than writing. This is more than painting. This exceeds a lot of the things that we have in our lifetime today have been created. Somebody had to come up with the idea. Somebody had to do the labor for the thing. Somebody had to put something together, an outline, or whatever the case might be. We must unpack that. And this is why I'm here. I was pretty pushed in my creative arena. Do I think that I could have ventured off into it a little bit more, without getting discouraged from little things? Yes, I lacked maturity then. And I'm glad that I'm here now with you all because I can see that clearly now. Okay? So let's get into it. the rest of the way. We gonna go. Keep going. What we are talking about is an induced or invited spiritual experience. I refer to this process as spiritual chiropractic. We undertake certain spiritual exercises to achieve alignment with the creative energy of the universe. If you think of the universe as a vast electrical sea in which you are immersed and from which you are formed, opening to your creativity changes you from something bobbing in the sea to a more fully functioning, more conscious, more cooperative part of that ecosystem. I don't know about you, but I just want to flow. I'll be a part of the ecosystem as long as I'm flowing. My natural ability, moving the way that I naturally do, moving the way that you naturally do. That's how we should be flowing. As a teacher, I often sense the presence of something transcending, a spiritual electricity, if you will, and I had to come rely on it in the transcending of my own limitations. I take the phrase inspired teacher to be a quite literal compliment. And this is The Artist's Way, for those who don't know, by Julia Cameron. You guys, shout out to her for this amazing book. Hold on. She said, I take the phrase inspired teacher to be quite a literal compliment. A higher hand than just my own engages us. Christ said, wherever two or more are gathered together, there I am in the midst. The God of creativity seems to feel the same way. The heart of creativity is an experience of the mystical union. The heart of the mystical union is an experience of creativity. Those who speak in spiritual terms routinely refer to God as the creator, but seldom see creator as the literal term for artist. My Abba was literally an artist. I am suggesting to you, take the term creator quite literally. You are seeking to forge a creative alliance, artist to artist, with the great creator. Accepting this concept can greatly expand your creative possibilities. And that's so true. That's so true. And this is me unpacking, you guys, so follow me. So when you think of our creator, I know that we all believe different things, but don't get your mind in a bunch just because Julia Cameron uses God, or she uses Christian biblical based things to draw your awareness. In this book, she states in her foreword that it is imperative for you to keep an open mind, because the spirit longs for something, and if you keep an open mind, you'll be able to eat the meat and throw away the bone. You'll find that this is very, very electrical to who you are and the very essence of what you're trying to accomplish. Okay? And for me, as a believer, our creator has created something so beautiful. It says, in beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and he created the firmament, and he created, you and I, and he was the ultimate artist. It started with him. And that's the beauty of my God, our God, the creator, not the universe. And this is not a Bible study, if you will, but just to shed light that that's a thing. This whole existence did not come to be just by accident. It was very intentional. And that's what we must be in our process of creating or becoming a creative or tapping into our creative essence. Okay? As you work with the tools in this book, as you undertake the weekly task, many changes will be set in motion. So just so y'all know, y'all are going to go on this journey with me. Okay? Y'all coming along, okay? Chief among these changes will be the triggering of synchronicity. We change and the universe furthers and expands that change. Hold on, y'all. All right, guys. So, hold on. Where was I at? I'm going to start here. As you work with the tools in this book, as you undertake the weekly tasks, and y'all are coming with me doing this journey in these tasks, and you guys, I encourage you guys to do the work too. And if you will, purchase the book. Read along with me, and let's get into it. And if you have the book, let's unpack it. And if you've read it already, let's unpack it again. Because we're in a season where we must come forth. I must come forth. I will come forth. That's it. That's all. Okay? So it says, chief among these changes will be the trigger of synchronicity. We change and the universe furthers and expands. That change. I have an irreverent, I'm sorry y'all if I'm saying this wrong, shorthand for this that I keep taped to my writing desk. Okay. So my writing desk, leap and the net will appear. It is my experience both as an artist and as a teacher that when we move out of our faith into the act of creation, the universe is able to advance. It is a little like opening the gate at the top of the field irrigation system. Once we remove the blocks, the flow moves in. Y'all, so bear with me. So if I stumble over some of my words, just know that when you get the book, you can go back and completely read it on your own. But I just want to share with you all my experience. And believe it or not, I used to be really, really shy. Not even shy. I used to be ashamed to read out loud. So this is really, really stretching me too. I'm not even going to lie. But let's go. Again, I do not ask you to believe this. In order for this creative emergence to happen, you don't have to believe in God. I simply ask you to observe and note this process as it unfolds. In effect, you will be mind waving and witnessing your own creative progression. So she basically is saying, don't take my word for it. And I'm not telling you to believe something that you're not used to. But what I am saying is, keep an open mind. Creativity is an experience, to my eye, a spiritual experience. It does not matter which way you think of it. Creativity leading to spirituality, or spirituality leading to creativity. In fact, I do not make a distinction between the two. In the face of such experience, the whole question of belief is rendered obsolete. As Carl Jung answered the question of belief late in his life, I don't believe I know. The following spiritual principles are the bedrock on which creative recovery and discovery can be built. Read them through once a day and keep it in an inner ear crop. An inner ear cocked, she said, for any shifts in attitudes or beliefs. So we're going to be going through the principles, the spiritual principles. And in this video, I am going to read them over with you all. But on my platforms, what I'm going to do is break them down daily. And you all will be able to go to them every day, whenever, forever. You know, my plan is not to delete like any of my my art page. My plan is not to delete that. So you'll get the full benefit of it here in reading, but you'll also get a chance to experience the breakdown on my Instagram, so that you all can see. And these will be principles that we go by, that I go by, so that we can unpack our creative progression, okay? Our inner creative, our inner spiritual being, our spiritual selves that's ultimately creative, and it's limitless, honestly. So let's get into the basic principles, okay? So it says creativity is the natural order of life. Life is energy, pure creative energy. That's number one. Number two, there is an underlying, indwelling creative force infusing all of life, including ourselves. That's number two. Number three, when we open ourselves to our creativity, we open ourselves to the creative ability, to the creative's creativity within us and our lives. That's number three. Number four, we ourselves creations. We ourselves are creations, and we in turn are meant to continue creativity by being creative ourselves. Number five, creativity is God's gift to us. Using our creativity is our gift back to God. 6, the refusal to be creative is self-will and is counter to our true nature. 7, when we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to God. Good, orderly direction. So what she said was, see God as good, orderly direction. She said this in her foreword, Julia Cameron, that is. And when you see that as good, orderly direction, you don't look at it as a religious concept. You look at it as being open-minded to the essence of spirituality and the emergence of spirituality and creativity, or the dualistic nature of it. Okay? Number 8, as we open our creative channel to the Creator, many gentle but powerful changes are to be expected. Number 9, it is safe to open ourselves up to the greater and greater creativity. Number 10, our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move forward our dreams, we move towards our divinity. I don't know about you all, but I'm so excited to unpack this with you all. I'm so excited to tap into the creative nature and being an essence of who I am. Now, when people look at me, I don't have a specific thing. that I paint, or that I draw. I do have a roundabout thing where people can say, oh, well, she draws this typically, or she paints this typically, or whatever, some things. But like I go with the flow of what I feel. Even with like my prophetic paints, like, when I'm able to do that and speak a word that's given based off of what the Holy Spirit has tapped into me, I'm able to give that based off of what I see and what I see in my spirit, in my spirit. Not saying that it's going to be the most perfect, no, because there's a difference from when I'm painting on hand, and off of a whim, than when I'm actually taking my time and I'm putting together a concept to create. But even that will be fine-tuned as I continue to allow the divinity of creation to overwhelm my spirit and flood my perfect nature as an individual. As you will also, as you read along in this book. I'm so excited because this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This aspect, or this part of the book, is the spiritual electricity and the basic principles. I'm trying to figure out if I want to read on. I guess I could read on. This video may be a little long, or maybe I'll break it down. But either way, just go with me. How to use this book for your creativity, for your creative recovery. I think actually I'm going to make that a specific video, and then I'll read that. So yes, I'm going to do that. So this first part of the book is the part 1 in the spiritual electricity basic principles. And so this was pretty much giving you the beginning of it, and also unpacking the 10 principles, the basic principles that you should keep in your mind, keep in the front of your mind, keep in the front of your heart, keep in the front of your soul, keep in the front of your paintbrush or the front of your pen, or you keep these within you, so that we can unpack this together and literally keep an open mind as we dive deep into our creativity and our creative nature. On the next video, what we're going to be unpacking, still in the spiritual electricity, the basic principles aspect of this book right now, we're going to unpack how to use this book for your creative recovery. And then by the time we get finished that, we should be going through and going to chapter 1. And I'm so excited to unpack that with you. I think before I leave you guys, there are different sayings and quotes that she has on the side of the book. And I think I want to share some with you all. So this says, straightway, the ideas flow in upon me directly from God. And this is by Johannes Brahms. Hold up. Brahms. I'm sorry. Johannes Brahms. Okay. And then this is another one. We must accept that this creative pulse within us is God's creative pulse itself. And that's by Joseph Chilton. Pearce. Joseph Chilton Pearce. Okay. Or it might even be Shelton. Look, y'all. Don't get me for these names. I'm gonna read one last one. What we play is life. And that's by Louis Armstrong. Y'all, now that I got. Okay. So yeah. Let's play life. And let's dive into these basic principles and apply them, so that we can awaken the inner creative in us. Artistry represents having awakening raw talent. I never went to school for art, but what I do know is that I have a gift, not given to me on my own merit. It was given by God, the ultimate creator. And I want to do everything in my power to exhaust that gift while I'm here. So you guys, I'm your girl, Danielle Royal, the artist, and I am an excited artist ready to unpack life and play life with you in a creative way. Peace.